Well, I think differentiation is really borne out by the impacts and the positive effect you have in the minds and the behaviours of your buyers. We live in an increasingly homogenised world, and so to create a different approach to the market and to create different impacts that are better than everybody else's is really what differentiation is about. It's an oft-used word. It's the impact, the effect that you have, and that's going to make you stand out from others. We often say that it's about being different. It's not about looking different or sounding different. It's actually about being different, which is where brand conduct and brand enablement both come together to create that true difference. And it has to be a higher difference, we think. That the way that people buy now is less based on the price or the transient aspects of a product or service. It's more about higher value, something that they can align with and something they can care about. So differentiation is about creating an environment where people actually want to care about you. Well, it's about truth, and it's about reality within an organisation, the way that organisation projects itself out. So if the organisation understands what it is and how it can be different, then it's more able to project that differentiation out into the marketplace. And we think a lot about businesses that state that they are customer-centric, and we find it hard to understand how those businesses need to state that if they truly are customer-centric. And so the reality for us is to find ways in which they really can be customer-centric in truth and in reality, and engage with audiences more effectively. So we go through a process in buyer to brand and a methodology that allows businesses to understand real differentiation within their businesses and how they can behave differently and how they can conduct themselves differently in order to project that truthfully and openly out into the marketplace. So in the technology sector, it's very clear that everybody is talking about the same things. Almost everybody in the technology space, one or another, is making the same types of offers now. There's less differentiation in terms of the actual offers that they're making. And so we tend to take an approach with technology brands who historically have thought and spoken about their technologies to people in, say, IT departments that are interested in buying technologies. And we've changed that into, okay, so what does that mean for your end customers? So as an example, if we're looking at a brand that is offering technologies into the way that city infrastructure can be developed and changed for the future mega cities that we all know are around the corner and being built now, then our approach was to look very much at the citizenship of the city and those that are responsible for the welfare and well-being of citizens within that city environment. Ultimately, that impacts on policymakers, city custodians, but actually onto the IT department or the chief technology officer within an organisation who has a responsibility to deliver policies that will be more beneficial to citizens. And so by engaging in the debate around the citizens and the improvements of citizens within a city, we're creating an emotional engagement. It's something richer and more viable and also more sustainable, because citizens will never go away. Technologies will change, but citizens will always be in cities. Well, differentiation has become a buzzword, undeniably. Like content, there are new words that come along and some stay and some go. But real differentiation is about belief. It's about absolutely believing in the direction that you're taking as a business, as an entity, absolutely understanding why that is important and how to manifest that out into a marketplace, and how to compel your buyers to believe it is important too. So true differentiation is actually more to do with the head, the heart and the soul, as we would describe the emotional aspect of things. It is about the rational. So differentiation is a buzzword, but the reality behind people being different, businesses and organisations and their products and offers being different, has always existed. And those that are different, but in a way that is truly beneficial and seen to be positive and substantial for audiences, those brands, those businesses have always won. Well, it's very much about the manifestation of the brand. So the brand has to diligently and seriously go out to audiences, external and internally within the business, but certainly externally, in a way that is more substantial and very different to the way that they have operated before. I mean, clearly, if a brand goes to market and it's always been successful and it's carrying on in growth because of the way that it conducts itself and the way it expresses itself to audiences, then it doesn't need to differentiate in another way. But there are very few brands. We always see and hear the same examples of Apple and Microsoft and Coca-Cola are always being used, but there are very few businesses among the millions of organisations out there in the world today, most of whom are not differentiated. And they're also susceptible to market change more easily. They're more exposed, they're at more risk. of competitors coming into the marketplace, of their products and offers seen to be and becoming redundant, and so there needs to be a change there. The brand is always the piece that is most sustainable and richest and important in the world. So it future-proofs an organisation if the brand is not only differentiated, but is actually different and is differentiated truthfully. MTD takes indifference seriously. Most people, in most experiences in their lives, are indifferent. We walk out of restaurants and cinemas, and any experience that we have, we go, yeah, that was okay. There was nothing that we could complain about, but there was nothing that would make us go, that is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Our job at MTD is to ensure that all brands are considered by their audiences and their buyers as being something special, something that stands above and out from everybody else, that is different, that is truly different, and something that you want to be a part of.